Hiyo, everyone! Lawson here, back in action for just, I missed it just but barely attraction. I am ever so pissed that effectively I had the correct answer and I did the correct things, but I pressed the wrong place and I just did not think about it. We had to present the piece of green cloth because it's clearly a balloon, right? It's the green balloon that we're talking about. And I am grateful that my balloons were not damaged. Seems like it's not a big statement. And that's what was getting at me, that it was just kind of a know-nothing statement. I'm so pissed at myself for not realizing this sooner. But yeah, you can hit like a 2 thing there, because like, technically speaking, I would have got a game over. I was just like, for the sake of expediency, yeah. So, trying to present it proper post-paste.
Objection!
Mr. Lunet, in your testimony, you said that all 3 of the balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosions, it would have been terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. I think it may be... See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of the fabric of the envelope. Sorry, the envelope? Pardon, that is the large round part of the balloon which becomes filled with hot air. It's made of very thick fabric, lined with rubber. You do not want it to rip when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Master Gotts testified, the green balloon did indeed explode that day. If all the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Lunet, then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence. No! A balloon exploded that day, why didn't the man say so? Maybe everyone aboard was killed. Oh no, having just spent 10 whole pounds with experiment, how awful. Seems to be like those things crashed. Objection! The instantaneous kinesis did occur, but after the explosion on the stage, the point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon, causing the balloon to explode. Yes, imminently and plausible. An unfortunate traffic accident, as it were, but it changes nothing about the pre-taint facts. This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Lunet? You are suggesting that I am a liar? This person died in the balloon incident? There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Lunet. The victim was the sole fatality that day. That's right! I prove it! Balthazar Lunet is not a liar, and there will be no such balloon in the sky. It is not possible. You're saying it's impossible? Why? This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
Objection!
But we can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Lunet. I concur, and there is clearly more of the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you are operating at the exposition. Grazie, my lord. Mr. Lunet's balloons. As I said, Balthazar Lunet is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers, yet they fell to the ground. The explosion was a catastrophe. You can't get away from the fact that a bit of cloth was found at the scene, can you? The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. The stupid rock Zigo, he's mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. So your assertion is that the balloon this child saw was not one belonging to you. Si, excelente! If he even saw a balloon in the first place. I do not like the sound of it. It is very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, then we will fight back. It will be for all out for. Every time, it's such a good gag. What happened to All Out War? Mr. Lune certainly doesn't appear to be lying. That doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here. The defense is unable to find fault with the witnesses' statements. The court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend. The situation has clearly changed now. You have to get to the bottom of what happened here. No matter what it takes. Also, you may now cross-examine the witness. Mr. Lune's balloons. Okay, no liar. Let's press it. You couldn't just have forgotten one, maybe? Signore, I might not notice if I was given 100 lentils and one was missing. But, you are talking about 3 enormous balloons! Do you believe I could have mistake about something so grande and expensive? I took the liberty of having Inspector Grayson check this gentleman's warehouse. I have the report here. It says a total of 3 balloons. Would appear no mistake was been made, then. Surely Mrs. Strahd could have been sent for such a menial task. What, me? I'll tell you what I told the boss. These and kids like me can only count up to 2. Obviously that ain't true, but the boss bought it and said I didn't have to go, had to go in his place. If they fell to the ground, this explosion. Who was the other passenger then? Hold it! It would be quite a catastrophe if they fell to the ground for any reason, I think. On that note, Mr. Lune, tell me, what is it that keeps these balloons in the sky? Are you an idiot? Sorry? That is like asking why does a candle burn bright? It burns bright because it burns bright! And the balloon flies because it flies! What else? That must be Italian for I don't know. There are 2 types of flying balloons. Hot air balloons and gas balloons. Hot air balloons work on the principle of hot air being less dense than cold air. Whereas gas balloons derive their lift by using a gas that is lighter than air. See, and my balloons are filled with a magical gas, I believe. Hydrogen, lighter than air, and highly explosive. Good lord! I do not permit smoking of the cigarettes in any of my balloons. The magic gas does not like fire. Even a small spark of static electricity could cause the entire balloon to explode. What is the matter, Isidore? All that comes out of your mouth is explosion! Explosion! I tell you, my balloons are perfectly safe. They have to be, or I cannot eat. None of my balloons exploded that day. I can be completely sure. And if you still say that this is what happened, you must show me the proof. right? So Mr. Lunet had 3 balloons in the air that day. And none of them were damaged. And what was the one that exploded? Alright. Burn a bit. Let's go ahead. I was surprised to find a piece of fabric still at the scene, actually. Didn't you search the area surrounding the stage for clues? Nah, I'm not into picking up stuff on the ground, mate. Always works out way better diving into people's pockets instead. So much for the new career path. Mind you, the boss on his and knees, picking up all kinds of rubbish from the floor. Thing is, though, the cage went crashing into the Crystal Tower, didn't it? That's where most of the investigation was going on. Even so, I would have thought someone from Scotland Yard would have gathered it up as evidence. Cool, listen to you. Stumble across a bit of balloon, and suddenly you're the best investigator in the world. Pardon? Well, you ain't a badge. You have it. Like this one. I could arrest you if I wanted to. I wouldn't put it past her. Think of it. There was talk of some scorch on the ground at the meeting we had about the investigation. Reckon it was probably some debris. Okay. Hold it! There was considerable damage to the stage and surrounding area, wasn't there? Yeah, some of the coves, were watching the experiment were caught in the blast and injured. Good job the old contraption didn't kill over, eh? I hadn't even considered that. Because there was great panic after the incident occurred. Nevertheless, the police should have missed a torn piece of the envelope from a balloon. Inspector Grayson can expect repercussions. Like we slapping all those fish and chips, eh? Man's soul pleasure. None of these matters. That scrap of balloon envelope means nothing. Niente. Hold it! So what do you do, bud? You mean the color is wrong? Si, signore. I do not have any green balloons in my warehouse. And yet, a piece of green cloth was found at the scene. And it's unmistakably from a balloon. Well, I do not know how that could be. For the sake of argument, let's say that a green balloon did explode above the stage. Couldn't therefore conclude that it happened on the day in question. Why not? There have been recreational balloon flights over Hyde Park, operating from before the Great Exposition. One could have exploded on some earlier date. Unfortunate, as I'm sure you would agree. You believe it may have been from some earlier balloon accident that predates the exposition? Si, exactamente, as the signore says. It is not from one of my balloons. Really, this little ragazzo from Bohemia, he is mistaken about what he saw. But? Excuse me. Is something wrong, Master Gotts? Is Master William Gottsrich Zygmunt Ormonstein? It was on the tip of my tongue. Something is very wrong. I know that I saw. That was a green balloon there. I swear it all over Bohemia. Do not speak as much bad language as you like, but it changes nothing. You do not have evidence, Ragazio. Then I must tell your parents to punish you, eh? This will let the judge decide what comes to punishments. Evidence? That is, what is this evidence? To give a simple example, young man. A photograph, for instance, sometimes will proof of what you claim. But we didn't you say so sooner? the photograph here. Good gracious. What? I hadn't been up in the balloon for a little while, so I was very excited. And took lots and lots of photographs of the Crystal Tower, of the Bohemian exhibit, of the streets of London, of the Hot El Cellar, of the balloon, and the instantaneous kineticist experiment? You take a picture of that? Yeah, was picture. Really? You did take one? But all I was a ride on the balloon. I was not interested in boring experiments. Never mind that. Can you show us that photograph? Of course, and that you will see. You shall see that I am not lying. That I really did see a green balloon. Well, I see you are all too shocked to speak. Yes, I think shocked is indeed the word. Man. Ja, perhaps you could not see that this was a green balloon from... Ja, perhaps you could not see that it was a green balloon from the photograph, but... But that is not my fault! That is the fault of this stupid person who made the camera! That is one very bohemian sounding cry. Very well. The court will accept this photograph as evidence. The first time it happened, the kid just presented evidence. They're like, please, calm down. It's not my fault. It's the fault of the person who made the camera. Well, never mind. I'm sure you had plenty of wonderful Sipan memories to take home with you. In any case, when exactly did you take the photograph? Well, it was the day of the big explosion. You don't say. Then I pressed the shutter release. There was the very loud bang, and the hot wind rushed over my face. That means this photograph was taken a split second before the explosion occurred? Well, if you ask me, this black and white photograph changes nothing. I cannot give the flying fig. Lovely language you picked up. As I thought, Mr. Lunay's testimony just doesn't quite add up. A Bohemian boy claims to have seen another fourth balloon. Mr. Lunay vehemently denies the possibility. It's hard to imagine the man in charge could be mistaken about the number that were in the air. Still, this inconsistency must tell us something. Sure. Landed safely. But that's not true. Clearly that one did not. Train passengers. Burning up. Poppers at the yard. Reckoned. Let's have red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. This one doesn't. The photograph clearly shows that it doesn't have that. Examine. See, there's no stripes. There's no nothing. And there is this right here that declares that. So that actually is what we need. The balloon to have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. There's no stripes. So, oop, oop.
Objection.
No? That's not it? What do you mean? That should be it, though, because, like, there's no zigzags. There's no zigzag stripes. Zigzag stripes have a very specific thing. Doesn't quite add up. Maybe I could look at it more? There's two things that we could approach with this, honestly. The magnifying thing doesn't really matter so much. He's pulling the lever here, and this is the thing for the guy that's still there. There's a lady over here, and there is something here. It looks like this is shot from this direction, just under it. There's not a person inside the balloon. So maybe that? What if we... like, we're carrying passengers. Clearly there's not a passenger there, so we could definitely argue about that here. So...
Objection.
Got it! Unfortunately, the photograph Mr. Gotts took can't tell us the color of the balloon. But it can tell us something else. Something crucially important. What? It shows that the picture balloon wasn't carrying any passengers. Oh, my goodness. All right. Surely all the balloons would have been carrying passengers. There would be no sense in it otherwise. See, they are for pleasure, for seeing the view. My balloons only fly with passengers. Which tells us that the picture balloon isn't one of them. So when the incident occurred that day, there was a fourth balloon in the sky above the experimentation stage. The mysterious green balloon. I know nothing yet. I can only tell you one thing. If this balloon was not carrying passengers, then it was not one of mine. I mean, sure, that's fine.
Objection.
There are legal tradesmen everywhere you care to look. Clearly one such entrepreneur decided to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the Great Exposition and managed to operate balloon flights on Mr. Lunet's patch without him realizing. See, the competition trying to steal my profits. I did not know this because of the experimental that went wrong on the stage. This fourth balloon exploded on the very same moment Mr. Osmond was beamed from the stage below. Right, so them scraps that fell on the ground after and left them scorch marks. They didn't come from the stage at all. It was bits of the balloon right down. Because no one was in it, it didn't get no attention. Mysterious fourth balloon carrying no passengers. Silently floating over the experimentation stage.
Objection!
This photograph shows us nothing more. A stray balloon carrying no one and operated by some rogue trader. Really has nothing to do with this case. Its relevance does elude me, I must say. The court has seen significant evidence and heard ample testimony already. The prosecution calls for this trial to be concluded. Really? We really got the truth yet? No, can't let this opportunity slip away. Jurors' minds are made up, and not in our favor. What else in this photograph could tell us? Is there nothing more we could learn? There's more.
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, wait! Please don't give your decisions yet. The photograph from Master Gotts may well be hiding one more vital clue. What's that? A vital clue?
Objection!
We're well past the point of mere possibilities. It's time for definitives now, so tell the court. What exactly does this alleged clue in the photograph prove?